Well, here's how we start. After being feted in Europe, mobbed in Africa, and even cheered in the Middle East, Barack Obama is testing the limits of his global star power in his debut presidential tour of Asia. Here, simply not being George W. Bush may be less of an asset than it's been for him elsewhere in the world. The US leader will have a hard time translating his personal stature into tangible gains during a trip where the main issues such as trade with China, the US troop presence in Japan, and the struggle for a climate change deal do not per se necessary wins.
I love Obama!
Obamania Asia style. Obama fever is running high in the streets and around the sea. Days ahead of the U.S. president's visit, thousands of Japanese endured sweltering heat on the southern island of Okinawa to demand the removal of a U.S. Marine base.
We would like to ask President Obama to give up building another military base that would destroy the environment.
A salvage mission. This is the reality the U.S. president confronts as he departed for his first 7-day four-nation Asia trip. After arriving in Tokyo on Friday, the president headed to Singapore for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. This will be followed by visits to China and South Korea. The trip will cover an array of weighty topics such as nuclear threats, climate change, trade imbalances, and most importantly, America's relevance to the region. While many Asians have been captivated by Obama's personal narrative as the first African-American president, he has never been as popular here as in Europe. In Asia, Obama may find a region outgrowing a half-century of U.S. supremacy and questioning America's relevance to its future.
Well, I think his broadest objective is to convince Asians that the United States is fully committed to the region, that we have an agenda that's much broader than they saw over the past 8 years with a very heavy focus on counterterrorism, that we're listening carefully to the issues that are being raised by our friends and allies in the region, and that we're going to make Asia a higher priority than it has been.
America is back, but its role is in question. Though Yukio Hatoyama has only been in office since September, the two leaders have already met at the White House, the UN General Assembly, and the G20 summit in Pittsburgh. Of concern, however, is just how firm a grip Obama has on such a historic alliance. Days after coming to power, Japan's new prime minister broached forming a new East Asian trading bloc that would exclude the U.S. And in his first speech to Parliament, Hatoyama stressed equality when dealing with the U.S.
The cornerstone is a close and equal relationship between Japan and the United States. What I mean by equal here is that a relationship where Japan can actively suggest ideas on the roles of Japan-US alliance in world peace and security.
Now Japan actively suggests no bases. 1,600 kilometers south of Tokyo, the Okinawa Islands that used to say welcome now want U.S. troops to stand clear.
There are three things that Japanese neighborhoods hate the most: garbage dumps, nuclear facilities, and military bases. The issue of military bases in particular is standing out as a thorny issue between Japan and the U.S., and local residents are counting on Hatoyama to make a difference.
Making a difference. Earlier this month, the 62-year-old Democrat released his new album, Take Heart. While no one is under the illusion he's Japan's next pop sensation, many are viewing it as a political indicator from the new government. Like Obama, Hatoyama won the election on a message of change. Change in Japan's Indian Ocean refueling mission that supports U.S.-led forces in Afghanistan. Change in the agreement aimed at reorganizing U.S. troops in Japan. And change in the East Asian community that may exclude the U.S.
Japan's domestic politics is undergoing dramatic changes, and so it is with its foreign policy. And America is very sensitive about it. The U.S. needs Japanese support in maneuvering Asia engagement. The important issue is the extent to which Obama and Hatoyama can smooth over the question of loyalty.
Anxiety is being exacerbated by questions about the overall future of the 5-decade-old U.S.-Japan alliance. Some in Japan fear Washington will cozy up to Beijing, while some in the U.S. worry Tokyo is tilting towards Asia by promoting the idea of an East Asia community trading bloc. But Chinese analysts see it differently.
Throughout his travels, starting with the setting speech in Japan, Obama is delivering a message of staunch U.S. commitment to old friends and newer partners alike. America sees both Japan and China at core of its Asia policy. It's not an either-or relationship.
If there were any doubts that China would have a rising priority for the U.S., Obama dispelled them when he sent Secretary of State Hillary Clinton to Beijing, not Pakistan, Afghanistan, or any other foreign policy hotspot. And as the U.S. and China have grown closer diplomatically, economic and trade ties have deepened to the point of interdependence. So dependent that some say Chimerica is heading for the rocks. 2 months ago, the U.S. announced plans to slap higher tariffs on Chinese tires. China responded with its own anti-dumping investigations of U.S. products, including cars. It has all the ingredients of a trade war. With trade squabbles on products from pork and chicken to tires and automobiles, analysts believe Obama will seek to put the trade relationship back onto an even keel.
Contrary to his predecessors, Obama's China policy opened with a high start. That change reflects China's increasing national strength, weighs more heavily on U.S. strategic needs.
Despite all the airport hopping, many say Obama's trip is largely about relations with China. During his visit, the U.S. president is expected to focus on global economic recovery, climate change, energy, and regional security. Analysts say as two of the world's most important players, talks between China and the U.S. could be of global concern. At the same time, ordinary Chinese hope the visit will improve communications.
China and America, in some sense, can both benefit from each other, but we have to cooperate with America in certain principles and communicate. This is beneficial for the whole world to ease the current financial crisis and for the people of both China and America. So I welcome his visit.
It's become a tradition for Westerners dealing with China to garnish their speeches with wisdom from the Chinese classics. Barack Obama, addressing Chinese and American leaders in July, drew not only on the Confucian sage Mencius, but basketball's Yao Ming.
I have learned from the words of Yao Ming, who said, no matter whether you are new or an old team member, you need time to adjust to one another.
Though it's been 30 years since the two countries re-established diplomatic ties, both sides still need to adjust.
So let's look at that schedule once again. From Japan to China, from South Korea to Singapore, every stop Obama takes could prove to be complex. After almost a year in office, it's clear the president is no miracle worker. But still, he offers the brightest hope for change in world affairs that will mean new beginnings. Coming up next.